In the lead-up to one of the most anticipated crossover fights in boxing, concerns are rising over Mike Tyson's readiness to face Jake Paul.
Another fast, another beautiful fight. Want all those all rounds. All rounds.
While Tyson, now 58, remains one of the sport's most iconic figures, former UFC fighter Chael Sonnen is among those questioning Tyson's commitment and fitness for the bout. Despite Tyson's fame as a fierce competitor, Sonnen suspects that the former heavyweight champion may not be training with the intensity required to face the younger Paul.
I'd like to hear from some training partners of Jake Paul. That'd be less important, because I just saw Jake Paul recently. I saw what he did to Mike Perry, who we all respect, with the lefts and the rights. So it'd be less important for Paul. We would know that he's prepared. He's demonstrated that recently, but Tyson hasn't demonstrated that in a number of years. And then even a number of years ago when he did, it turned out that was a work against Roy Jones.
Sonnen's skepticism goes beyond mere curiosity. He believes that if Tyson isn't truly prepared, a poor performance could leave fans disillusioned with celebrity boxing bouts, affecting future interest.
I was up in smoke and I just shared that, like, hey, do we have anybody, is there anybody with a heartbeat that has sparred Mike Tyson? I'm hearing he's sparring 8 rounds a day. Can I meet that person? Which, by the way, Mike doesn't have to be winning them. He doesn't have to be winning the rounds and beating this guy up. Can he go with him? Can he push him? What can this guy say? Hey, man, the power's still there. The speed's a little down. Hey, the speed and the power's still there, but his distance is a little bit of a problem. Hey, Mike's eyes aren't quite the same. You know, he gets straights right down the middle. I don't know if Jake Paul's got the power to do anything with it, but, you know, Mike's got to really be careful of that. He's got to make sure he circles to his right. All of that would be really interesting, and none of that was done.
His caution highlights a growing concern among combat sports fans that these matches may risk the integrity of boxing if poorly executed.
Everything's clear in hindsight. And if these two go out there, if Mike Tyson, who does not have a single trainer speaking to the media saying I'm working with him, does not have a single workout partner, does not have a gym that has set times, the way that we understand it, he's not even working out with a team. He's got a studio that's got a heavy bag somewhere and he's going in. I could have that wrong. I'm telling you to our understanding, because nobody's spoken up. If Tyson goes out there and he gets mauled by Jake, you're going to have a whole bunch of fans that are very pissed off the next time you try to pull a caper.
Still, recent footage from Tyson's camp has offered a glimmer of hope for his supporters. In a recent clip, Tyson unleashed a series of powerful punches that showcased his trademark intensity, hinting that his strength and athleticism remain intact. Although there is a significant 31-year age gap between him and Paul, Tyson's performance in these brief snippets suggests he may still possess enough skill to make the fight competitive. His power punches in training alone have already captured the attention of fans eager to see if the legend can still perform at a high level.
That's just in a beautiful room, Mike. Excellent room. Excellent defense, champ. This is the perfect head position. This we talk about it. 40 seconds. You are winning the fight, so there's no reason for you to rush. You are winning the fight. All good for us. Clean shot, Mike. Excellent. Nice left hook. Up.
Despite the public's worries, those close to Tyson are convinced he's ready. One of his trainers recently weighed in, sharing that Tyson's physical readiness should not be a concern.
We have 16 days till the fight, so 17 days. So we're good. You're good. We're in the perfect time. We're in the perfect place now. Where's Mike? Put everything together. We talk about Roy. Roy was 4 years ago. Today, Mike is much better than he was when he fought Roy. So 4 years later, with 58, he's better than 54. So he saw everything right, everything wrong he did, and he fixed it. This is the beauty of the fight. The energy is good, and his energy is good. So.
Coming to what the pros have to say about the fight, Johnny Nelson offered his thoughts on the highly anticipated matchup between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, acknowledging that while Tyson has the star power to generate buzz, his body is no longer in the condition it once was. While Tyson's experience and name recognition make the fight marketable, Nelson pointed out that Tyson's prime has long passed.
Let's just remember, Mike Tyson is 58 years old. Let's remember, Mike Tyson at the back end of his boxing career was not the fighter he was. So those of us that are getting lost in nostalgia about what Mike Tyson, who Mike Tyson was, he's gone a long time ago. So now this Mike Tyson is experienced enough to know how to sell a fight. He knows how the basics of a fight, what needs to be done. He knows what he needs to do in his head, but his body's 58 years old, so his body won't do what he wanted to do when he was getting paid to do this job at the back end of his career.
He also noted that though Tyson's payday from the fight may not change his life financially, it will still be a substantial amount. Nelson expressed hope that Tyson can deliver a good performance, even jokingly sharing a fantasy where Tyson knocks out Paul, but admitted that this outcome seems unlikely.
Now, Jake Paul, again, it's business. This boy is buying scalps. And Mike Tyson said the money that he makes from this is not life-changing money. I beg to differ. I do think he's going to make a shite load. And he's probably heard the whispers that say Mike's doing it for the money, even if he needs it or not. I hope Mike shows a good representation of himself. I did have another dream.
Oh God!
And
you're gonna have to tell us the dream this time.
And so yeah, but I say what I see, it just comes out wrong. I dreamt that Mike knocked him out, but I didn't see Mike knocking him out in the dream. Someone said Mike had knocked him out.
Okay.
Knocked out Jake Paul.
Nelson further elaborated on the physical challenges Tyson will face against Paul, particularly given the structure of the fight. 8 2-minute rounds, which Nelson referred to as 8 sprints. At 58, Tyson lacks the stamina to keep pace with the younger, fitter Paul, who has the advantage of speed and endurance.
So Mike Tyson's going to probably start off at A pace, and Jake Paul's going to be too fast for him.
8 2-minute rounds?
It doesn't matter, and that makes it even worse, because 8 2-minute rounds are like 8 sprints. You know, you could, Mike hasn't got that in him. And like it or not, that's nature. He hasn't got it in him. So he's got to hope Jake stands in front of him. He's got to hope Jake is not super fit to do these 8 2-minute rounds on his toes all the way through. He's got to hope that happens. Because if Mike steps out of his pace, he's going to get knocked out. Because he's going to be tired. And Jake's going to have youth on his side. It doesn't mean Jake's a better fighter. It just means Jake's the younger fighter that still has that speed, that youth, that tempo. You see training images of Mike, bam, 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 he's on there. It's like 15 seconds. You switch the camera on, let me see him do that again 15 seconds later.
While Tyson still possesses the power to land a decisive shot, Nelson speculated that Tyson could tire quickly as the fight progresses. He emphasized that while Jake Paul might not be a superior boxer, his youth and conditioning likely give him the upper hand in a fight that's more about physicality than technique.
I'd love Mike to do it just for these youngsters.
One of them 15 seconds to take out Jake Paul. One of them 15-second moments.
Yeah, and you know what? And that one punch changes down everything in the fight. You know, and Jake Paul, I'm not saying the boy can't fight, because the kid's all right. But Jake Paul is at a stage in his life where, you know, he's got a lot more going for him than Mike has in this fight.
Gilbert Arenas expressed concern about the fight, particularly for Jake Paul's safety. Despite Tyson being 57 years old, Arenas believed Tyson's punching power remained far superior to Paul's, estimating that Tyson likely hits 3 times harder than Paul.
I hope there's some stipulations into that clause. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that there's rules that protects Jake Paul. Because, yeah, he's 57, but is he? Is he really 57? Punching power? Is his punching power 57? No, right? One, he probably hits 3 times harder than Jake Paul can possibly ever hit, right? I will hope Jake Paul is on some type of steroid. I will hope not to punch back. Tyson gonna work.
Arenas cautioned that even a glancing blow from Tyson could be dangerous, citing Tyson's natural instincts and reflexes as a former heavyweight champion. He voiced worry that Paul could be in real danger if Tyson lands a clean shot, no matter how slight.
I'm talking about to absorb some of this punching power Tyson has in his body, right? You're talking about a dude who probably hit like Mack Truck then, still hitting like a F-150 today. Jake Paul body is not built for what Tyson throws. So even an accidental punch by Mike Tyson will hurt this man. And that's what I'm afraid of. I don't get this fixed. I'm not worrying about the problem is he is a professional he's a professional heavyweight champion, which means his reflexes is dangerous.
Darren Bent shared his unease about the Tyson-Paul matchup, expressing a desire to remember Tyson in his prime rather than seeing him in a fight with a much younger opponent. Bent appreciated Tyson's exhibition bout with Roy Jones Jr. for its mutual respect, but he feared that a loss to Jake Paul would be frustrating, particularly with Paul likely gloating over the win. Bent admitted he would prefer the fight to be an exhibition and speculated that Tyson might choose to ease off if he found early success in the match, perhaps not wanting to risk tarnishing his legacy.
I know he had a few, we spoke about it earlier, a few duds at the end of his career, but like even that exhibition against Roy Jones, it was just nice to see two greats go at it, but have that mutual respect where they weren't going to try and take each other's head off. In this one here, my biggest fear is that we love Iron Mike and he gets beat by Jake Paul, and then Jake Paul just doesn't shut up about it.
Yeah,
and that's going to annoy me, because I'm like, we haven't beat Mike Tyson, but I have beat Tyson
in a professional fight.
Yeah, and it isn't a fight. I wish it was just an exhibition. I think that's what's put me off.
Do you think there's any part of Mike Tyson that will hold back?
It depends. I mean, if he drops him a couple times in the first or the second, he might just go, do you know what, I could destroy this kid, so let me just ease back a little bit.
Jake Paul's sparring partner, DeAndre Savage, shared his perspective on the fight, acknowledging Tyson's legendary career but pointing out the significant age difference. Savage expressed a certain hope that Tyson might pull off a win, but conceded that he doesn't see it happening, citing the inevitable toll of age. He suggested that the fight is more about Tyson securing a lucrative payday than a true competition, and he doesn't expect it to live up to the hype surrounding it.
It's the age difference, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope Mike win. You know, I do hope Mike win, though. I do hope Mike win. But I don't think so. I think the age, you know, I think it's just a payday. I think it's a big payday, you know. I don't think it's gonna be the fight everybody expecting it to be.
Savage was unsure of how the fight would unfold, but indicated that he hoped it would go the distance to the scorecards. However, he didn't believe it would be the kind of dramatic spectacle many fans were expecting. He described the event as being more about entertainment than the sport of boxing, acknowledging the shift from competition to spectacle that has become central to these types of matchups.
I hope it goes to the point. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't think it's gonna be a fight like everybody thinks it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be that type of fight.
No.
Yeah, it's like boxing. It's a different type of show. You know, it's a different type of. It's still boxing, but it's a different type of show. It's a different crowd. You know, it's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Jake sell a lot of tickets though. You know, he sell a lot of tickets, but I think it's more for entertainment.
Savage also spoke on Jake Paul's power, recalling his own sparring experiences with him. Although he had been knocked down before, Savage clarified that he wasn't hurt by Paul's punches. He simply took a knee and got back up. He made it clear that Paul's shots had never truly troubled him.
His power impressive, would you say?
Well, he never dazed me. I have been dazed before, but Jake never dazed me, or I wasn't hurt or nothing. You know, just I went down and got back up. I went to my knee and got back up. You know, so it's all good.
Matchroom promoter Eddie Hearn has been vocal in his criticism of the fight, particularly the notion of Mike Tyson stepping back into the ring at his current age. For Hearn, watching his longtime idol Tyson compete at this stage in his career, when he's physically far removed from his prime, seems absurd. He argues that Tyson's legendary legacy should not be reduced to a spectacle that tarnishes his past achievements.
You're asking the wrong guy. I'm a hardcore boxing fan. He's one of my heroes. I find it very sad. But it's a big event. I understand people are going to watch it, and it's entertainment, I guess. But for someone that idolised the guy growing up, yeah, not the best day. He's 58 years old.
Hearn doesn't dismiss Jake Paul's potential entirely, acknowledging that while Paul may not yet be a top-tier boxer, he has the power to land a hard punch. This presents a significant risk for Tyson, whose age and wear and tear on his body make him increasingly vulnerable. While Paul may lack the technical prowess of a seasoned fighter, Hearn believes his raw power could cause real damage to Tyson, who is no longer the dominant force he once was.
Because I think it's just disrespectful to the sport. I don't want to see it. I don't want to watch one of my all-time favourite fighters, one of my heroes, I guess, in a boxing ring at 55 years of age, physically a shell of what he once was. I'm not saying abandon the fight. I'm just going, not for me, mate. I don't want to watch it.
Despite Tyson's apparent motivation from the financial opportunity and the satisfaction of returning to training, Hearn is adamant that this fight is not in Tyson's best interest. He argues that no matter how much Tyson may enjoy the process, the fight shouldn't happen, as it poses unnecessary risks for the aging fighter.
When he finished boxing 20 years ago, he was shot. Agreed? Like, I know you don't upset anyone, but everyone agrees with that. So you think that 20 years on, it's okay for him to go back into a ring? Even against Jake Paul, it doesn't matter. Like, Jake Paul, as limited as he is, he can punch. What is he, 26? Good luck to everybody, but just not for me. And I'm entitled to my opinion. Of course you are. And it's not an opinion as a hater. I don't listen. If people putting on great shows, making money, good luck to them. I just don't like it. It just makes my skin crawl. A geezer at that age, putting on his shorts and in a changing room, robing up to go out after everything that he's achieved in the sport to fight Jake Paul.
Former UFC double champion Daniel Cormier also weighed in, criticizing Jake Paul for choosing to fight an older, diminished Mike Tyson. Cormier feels that this matchup won't earn Jake any credibility as a true fighter, since Tyson's best years are far behind him. He suggests that by picking Tyson, Jake is taking on a challenge that won't help elevate his status in the sport.
The former heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson, will fight Jake Paul.
He walked in with a cane, Stephen A. And now you gonna fight Jake Paul? What are we doing?
You know what Mike Tyson's doing? What's Jake Paul doing? If you saw him walk into the arena with a cane, Jake knew about it. I can tell you that much.
This guy speaks of building himself as a true fighter. Him fighting a 57-year-old Mike Tyson doesn't do that. I don't love that outside of the fact that Mike gets to make some money. Jake seems to be going backwards. I just don't like the matchup, and I also love Mike Tyson, but I also sat there with my broadcast partners, John Anik and Joe Rogan, and we watched Mike last year walk into a UFC event walking on a cane, Stephen A. The year after is going to fight.
Kamaru Usman, former UFC middleweight champion, also expressed concerns about the fight, particularly the precarious situation Jake Paul finds himself in. Usman pointed out that Tyson's enduring popularity and status as a beloved figure in the sport means that if Jake were to knock him out, the backlash would be immense. On the other hand, if Jake loses, Usman believes it could end his career. Usman views the matchup as a lose-lose scenario for Jake, arguing that the potential rewards do not justify the risks involved.
So this is a lose-lose for Jake Paul. You can't go out there and potentially beat up Uncle Mike, the guy that's so loved by the world. You don't get no cool points for that. Let's say you go in there and you do beat up Uncle Mike. So you think now people are gonna respect you. Oh, Jake Paul, yeah, you beat Mike Tyson, 58-year-old Mike Tyson. No, you're not gonna get the respect for that. In fact, I think it'd actually be worse. People might hate you more because it's Uncle Mike. Everyone loves Uncle Mike. But on the flip side, you go out there and you get put to sleep, which is a possibility because Uncle Mike still has that punching power. He's still ferocious and he will still come at you. You go out there and get put to sleep. Let's just go ahead and sign the death certificate of your career. There's no more career after that.
Joseph Parker has also voiced his concerns, acknowledging that while power often endures longer than other physical attributes in a fighter's career, he questions how much power Tyson can still possess at the age of 58. While Parker recognizes that Tyson appears to be in good shape, he admits that it will be difficult to watch Tyson compete given the challenges associated with aging. The reality of Tyson's age means that the fight may be a painful spectacle to witness.
Listen, I'm all for boxing and all for big fights, but Mike Tyson is a legend, and no matter how great he was in the past with the ferocious style that he had and punches that he thrown and knocking everyone out, 58 years old is old for a fighter. And Jake Paul has the youth on the side, and with each fight he is getting better and better. So it's just, I think it's a hard fight to watch. It will be a hard fight to watch because you just don't want to see Mike. If Mike comes out and knocks him out, then we're going to be like, listen, he's, so the power, I think, is the last thing to go. But at 58 years old, how much power is left? And, we do see short clips, but you're right, we're not sure what happens before and after those clips. Yeah. So, we'll see.
TK Kirkland, while acknowledging Jake Paul's potential and skill, likened Tyson's return to the ring to riding a bike, something that comes naturally to the former champion, even with a 30-year age gap between the two. Kirkland believes that while Paul may have the advantage of youth, Tyson's decades of experience and mastery of the sport could be the deciding factor in the fight. He thinks Tyson's skill set, built over years in the ring, could give him a significant edge, despite the years that have passed since his prime.
He's good, but when your Mike Tyson is like riding the bike. So by Mike Tyson 30-year difference, I think that it equals the same. Yes, the kid got youth on his side, but because he's not as experienced as Mike is, I think that Mike could get him on skill.
So what are your thoughts about this fight? Is Mike Tyson still the beast he was in his prime? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this.